What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. Good to see you. Good morning. Happy Sunday. This is live and recorded. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments after the fact or in the live chat. What's up, RC? Good to see you, buddy. And I'm sorry about somehow getting hidden from my channel, but I unhid you. David G, Cook 4015. What's up, man? Crypto Craig, Chris Hanley. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Let's see who else is here. The Pirate. What's up, man? Thanks for being a member. Appreciate you, buddy. What else? Kyle Rosa and Integra guy. Good to see you guys. All right. Well, let's see. I'm sure a lot of people aren't really up this early in the morning. It was a struggle to get out this morning. I didn't go to bed till like 2 in the morning. So yeah, that's to say the least. All right, let's check out the market today. So we're looking at still 21.8 Bitcoin. Not too bad. I mean, it's pretty much where it was the whole weekend, right? Ethereum, same thing, 1500. Pretty much stayed steady. Doge looking at 8 cents. Let's just check out CoinGecko, and then we'll get into the 10K Ethereum talk. So there was actually a video from Altcoin Daily that we're gonna watch with Raoul Powell, and he talks about you know, how it could, or he could see it getting up there, but realistically he just grazes past that. But he explains quite a bit in the middle. You know, it's kind of interesting. So either way, let's scroll down quick. So Dogecoin looks like it flipped Polygon again, or it's above it. It's in the 9th spot, so we'll see where that ends up going. Shiba Inu's 14. So I'm kind of I'm interested. I guess there's some news around Shiba too, but I'll leave that for later on in the week if we can find anything. Litecoin's looking at $16.93. Not too bad. I want to see Litecoin pump so bad. That and Doge, obviously, because the L7. Not gonna lie to you there. All right, let's check out the what am I doing? There we go. Let's check out this video that I want to watch from Altcoin Daily. And if you guys have any questions, again, just at me in the chat and I will obviously read it as best I can. Check on Stales. What are you talking about, Mr. Kyle Rosa? Stale shares, maybe? This is my my solo mining journey, by the way. Still at I'm at what, 28% right now, but either way, we haven't hit a block yet in the last couple days. But I mean, 10 in 30 days is that's enough for me. I'm happy with that. I can't complain. All right, let's watch this video. Again, shout out to Altcoin Daily, and as always, I will leave a link to their channel and this video in the description below. I actually already put it in there this morning. So let's get into it, and if you guys want to cover anything else after the fact, we can. So just let me know.
I just think it's the most vibrant, deepest, broadest ecosystem with the most institutional style adoption, the most that people understand. And let's face it, there is only one money on the internet, and it's not Bitcoin. The money of the internet is Ethereum.
Yes. How high could Ethereum go in the next?
Real quick. Kyle Rosa said, iPolos don't show on pools to look on your miner. Well, yeah, they don't show the stale shares on the pool, I don't think. But they, yeah, you can, I mean, you can see the iPolo when it registers on the actual pool itself. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. But yeah, no, I didn't, I don't have, actually the iPolo, I just fired up with the Wi-Fi one in the garage to see if it affects anything today. So we'll see. Either way. All right, let's do it.
Next few years. Today we sit down with global macro investor Raoul Powell to talk about the potential of the Ethereum network today. Now, this is just one clip of a much bigger conversation. The full podcast drops later this week, where we'll talk Bitcoin, macro, Cardano, Solana, specific altcoins. But today, what's the potential of Ethereum?
I am agnostic to who wins. I don't care. All I do is look at the chains and think, okay, I want to allocate capital. What ecosystem do I want to allocate to right now? What has the best risk-adjusted returns? So there are going to be several projects that do much better than Ethereum and will do really well. I actually think Solana will do better than Ethereum, possibly.
And he means, I think he means better overall as in like the project itself. I don't think he means as in like a gain. But, I mean, he very well could mean a gain, so let's find out. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you all for being here. And real quick, Crypto Craig said, Kyle Rosa, I actually think it is a lot... I think it is a lot of opportunity for ETC. If they had a great dev team behind them, they could capture the POW side of ETH at the merge, but all you hear is crickets. Yeah, he said... before that, you actually said the only people that know ETC are the miners. I have never met a real person that asked me about ETC, and you're 100% right. Realistically though, once things go more mainstream and the average investor starts getting back into Coinbase and stuff, they're gonna see ETC kind of like when I started. That's exactly how I saw it, right? I saw ETC and Ethereum and Bitcoin. ETC was always cheaper. It was like 20 bucks or whatever the case may be. I think it was like 12 bucks at the time. And it was easier for somebody like myself, being a younger, version of myself, only making X amount of a paycheck every week, to be able to invest into a smaller coin like that and actually retain an entire coin, not just a piece of a coin. You know what I mean? So ETC definitely needs to do something. I 100% agree. They need to start getting their shit together. I guess that's the best way to put it. But yeah, overall, people will still invest at some point because they know the name Ethereum, at least the beginning of it. You know what I mean?
And we can talk about that later. But there's many. So I'm not saying I'm an Ethereum maximalist in any way. I'm saying it has observable network effects beyond any other token ecosystem. The number of use cases, the applications, the number of wallet addresses, the kind of velocity of money. Okay, that's amazing. So Ethereum is really special there. But staking is even more special. Another thing the US might try and crack down on. Brian Armstrong was worried about this.
So Raul is about to explain why Ethereum staking is such an innovation and such a game changer for ETH. I thought this was really interesting.
But
which is why, the SEC giving Kraken a hard time is kind of a big deal. So let's hear it.
Staking is really special, and most people don't understand it because most people don't come from finance.
Good thing Joker Miner's not here. Damn it. Hold on, guys.
Staking, as we know, you get given a yield if you stake crypto. And if you do it in Ethereum, what you're doing is you have to stake for a year if you're going to do it yourself, or if not, use Lido or Rocket Pool or whatever. And you've got a liquidity mismatch there because they're providing short-term liquidity in staking when it doesn't actually exist. So we know that these things can go wrong. Not saying that they will, but they could. So I won't do that. But this Shanghai fork means that liquidity is available to any staker at any time. What does that do? That creates a money market curve for Ethereum, which is like, people use CDs and they use 2-year bonds and they use this. This is what we're going to create. And that means you have financial liquidity to build things on top of, or you're incentivized to keep your money and stake it because you can get it back at any time, as opposed to some arbitrary date in a year's time when you don't know what the crypto market's going to look like. So I'm going to stake my stuff if I can then.
He's talking about staking in general, not staking ETH, right? Because if you stake ETH, you ain't getting it back. Not right now anyways. Not even in a year. So I'm kind of confused about that.
And particularly if I can do it myself, which might be a little more difficult to do, but it's in my control. Nobody can default on me. It's in the smart contract, and I'm going to get my money. So this is a very, very big innovation for what can be built on top of Ethereum. It's also a very, very important mechanism to what Ethereum has created, which is it now has this burning mechanism that is making it scarcer in supply. And we've seen that just coming off the bear market lows, the early stages of spring, the first shoots, the bloody thing went negative issuance already, deflationary. I'm like, huh. And right now, there's only 16% of all ETH is staked. And if you think of staked ETH as taken off the market that nobody can use for derivatives or anything else, right? So you can't create, financial products out of it. Well, all the other big ecosystems like Solana and stuff have up to 40 to 60% staking. So let's assume Ethereum gets to 40%, 35%. So doubling at least of the number of people who've taken Ethereum out of supply. And imagine that's happening in the spring going to summer. There ain't any ETH. This is a problem. It actually, I think it may be such a problem in a bull market that it's either going to
it's kind of interesting, actually,
force massive upside volatility spikes that become kind of unmanageable. Or if if it does drive up fees so much, then obviously it bleeds into the layer twos. But they too consume ETH, so it's still circular. Yes, they consume less ETH, so it's a very interesting situation. So that's why I'm very, very bullish on ETH overall. I just think it's the most vibrant, deepest, broadest ecosystem with the most institutional style adoption, the most that people understand. And let's face it, there is only one money on the internet, and it's not Bitcoin.
That's interesting how he said that. So like he's basically saying if 40% or 50% of people, you know, go and stake ETH, ETH is going to be so scarce on the market. That's what he's banking on, the money going, or the price of ETH going up. Interesting. Could they also make it easier to mine ETH again, meaning more rewards back like it was in early 2020? I don't think they will go backwards. I don't think they'll allow mining again, unless they do that said fork they were mentioning with the Dogecoin stuff. I don't think they'll bring ETH back to mine, to be honest.
The money of the internet is Ethereum. It is the only ecosystem where we quote prices in a foreign currency. Now, what was hilarious today, there was a tweet out about the new Bitcoin NFTs, and they're like, they are 1 point whatever Bitcoin brackets X number of ETH. I found that hilarious because ETH is the money of the internet. Now, I don't think it's going to lose that. But that, again, doesn't mean...
What do you guys think? Is ETH the money of the internet? I feel like somebody said to me when I first got into crypto, or something I watched, it was kind of like, again, I've said it before, that Ethereum was like the Google of the crypto world compared to like the internet in general, right? Like where Bitcoin would be the internet, Ethereum would be Google, that tied basically everything together. And that's how I've always kind of looked at it since I heard that, but I don't remember where I heard it from, but it was quite interesting. If I could find that, I would love to show that at some point. I'll look for it later.
It's the best performer because we're going to push use cases elsewhere for innovation. We've got things like SUI coming. You know, Aptos hasn't fully been utilized yet. We need to see the network effects.
Well, you know what? Also, real quick, he might be the way he says Ethereum is the money of the internet. I think it's because Bitcoin at the end of the day is going to be a store of value. People aren't going to want to spend said Bitcoin. They're going to want to spend the other coins like Ethereum and, you know, all the other guys. It just, Bitcoin's going to be the one that people want to hold because that's the one that's really decentralized. Like nobody owns it. Nobody knows who Satoshi is. You know what I mean? It just, in general, that's going to be the commodity that people want.
Solana, I think they're aiming for the broadest adoption by making it a consumer-friendly place, you know, to onboard normies. Okay, that's very powerful. If they get that right, then, you know, and their work with people like Meta and stuff like that, Instagram is very interesting. That's super amazing. Polygon, okay, amazing group. What are they doing? You know, they're onboarding a lot of people. They've got a lot of throughput, super interesting. SUI hasn't even come onto the market yet, and that is faster, incredible team, stuff like that. So there's a lot going on here. But ETH is the easiest way because it's probably got the least risk.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. So real quick, Patrick Guillen said ETH has no capability to be scarce because it can be printed / minted on demand. So Patrick, now let me just ask you, right? Do you think that the dev team over at, you know, Ethereum that would be minting said coin, do you think they would actually just decide to turn around and mint those coins versus allowing the price to raise for their own capital gains or their own gains in general? I think they would probably hold back on pushing more coin. That's just me. I don't know if there's like a set schedule on them doing that. Crypto Craig said, look at Raven, for example. It is a fork of BTC, and that has hindered the project. BTC was never built to run small contracts. That's true. This is why ETH was created as an environment to dev smart contracts. ETH's power is its ability to manage and code smart contracts via solidity. Why can't I read that word? That is why it is popular to the average Joe. It has a use case that is very robust. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. That's very interesting. They already did that, said Mr. Patrick Guillen. I guess let's see.
So that's really interesting because what Raul is essentially saying is, yes, obviously, there'll always be other altcoins that have much bigger gains. But if you're looking for the best risk-adjusted return in cryptocurrency, Ethereum's on a whole different level when it comes to the tokenomics, the fundamentals, the awareness, the actual use of the blockchain. And before we get to price expectations, my brother, Aaron, asked a really good question. If you like ETH, you probably really like the ETH scalers, the layer 2s, like Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism. How do you value those coins?
Are you bullish?
All right, sorry, UK Miners Club. He said again, LTC is so much cheaper / faster. ETH should just go quietly in the night and be that high school one night stand that you remember, but you don't worry about. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. It's I don't know. I mean, again, the way I think of ETH, it might be different than everybody else, but I don't think it's going anywhere realistically. I think there is, again, there's more potential to make more money with other cryptocurrencies, like smaller ones like Flux or whatever. Like you could, 10x way easier than 10x on Ethereum. Let's put it that way. But overall, Ethereum is so much further along than a lot of other coins. It's kind of paving the path, and it's gonna make mistakes. So I guess I'm just gonna roll with the punches, man. I'm still holding ETH, so I can't really say too much bad things about it, right?
On ETH layer 2, is it worth investing in today, or are you just waiting and watching? As you said, it makes the whole Ethereum ecosystem much stronger. But
yeah, I own a bit of Matic, but I don't know how to approach it because I don't know how to measure the network effects in terms of, because it.
Hello, clean energy.
Oh, clean energy. Love clean energy. Too bad they're charging us 30 cents for it.
We don't know how it works really yet because it generates so much less fees, so you need so much more transaction volume to generate the network value. Bitcoin's network value is less throughput, higher transaction values, right? That's why Bitcoin is still the most dominant chain. And I don't think that will last because of the dynamics of ETH. And again, that's no diss against Bitcoin. They're just different things. So I don't know how to value the layer 2s. So I'm watching them with interest, and I got a bit of cash in them. And I'm sure I'll FOMO into something at the wrong point at some point. But
why do all the VCs always go for Matic first, or like the big traditional finance guys, they go for Matic first? Why is that?
I think their marketing team is better, right? The game of network adoption is also attention. And they've just done a better job at getting attention. They understood that doing a deal with Google, which actually meant nothing, actually got them headlines everywhere that they've done deals with Google. They did one.
Patrick Murphy, I could definitely use a coffee. Appreciate it, buddy. I actually ran out this morning. You guys know, what the worst part about running out of coffee is on a fucking Sunday? Now I have to go to the store on a Sunday to go get coffee for tomorrow morning because this is the only day I got. God damn it.
One with Disney too. Not doing anything really with Disney, but Matic, Disney. Narratives are what wins in this game, and that's one of the reasons Bitcoin has kind of not outperformed in this down cycle. It's because it's lost its narrative. It became much more insular. So that insular narrative is, you have to eat steak, do nothing but stack sats, and have this lifestyle of complete nothingness. It's not appealing to that many people. So it's less vibrant. It's interesting. So, because these are all memes as well as technology, but it's memes that drive the adoption. And then as people join it, they start creating use cases.
Now, the full uninterrupted podcast conversation drops in a few short days. So good. Make sure you click subscribe
check out
and have the bell notification.
Altcoin Daily, obviously.
Also,
I appreciate them putting this video out, and I can't wait to see the full interview because it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'll leave a link to this down in the description below. This is where he says the 10,000
next cycle.
I don't know. I always get, there was no upside to price predictions because your face gets rubbed in it. They cut this clip out and then say, "Look at you, you're a fucking moron." So, I just hate doing it, but I don't see any reason why it's not above 10,000. I see no reason at all why it's not above 10,000. So, that's a decent upside from here.
Which it is, but I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it has potential to hit 10,000? I wonder. The wife was saying, she's telling me she's gonna steal my truck because right after this, right after we're live, we have to change the calipers on the caliper on the Raptor, the left driver's side. Good morning. Let's see. Matt Electron says nope. You're only a hater because you like shit coins. You just don't have any ETH. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. All right. Let's see. Fear and greed index today. We already look at this 50. It's a neutral. Literally smack dab in the middle. All right. Let's see. I wanted to. This is another channel. What channel is it? I forget. I want to see if he has any good videos on it. Let's see. I forget his name. This guy, Jamie Tree. This dude, his entire channel basically rips off other videos, but it's very, it's good. He puts them together very well. As you can see, he has quite a bit of views, but let's go to videos. Just want to see what was, yeah. So my last warning. Let's see what this guy has to say. Let's see what this guy has to say right here. Actually, what do you guys think? 98% of investors will miss their bull run in 2023. What do you think? Let's listen to that because we're all about Raoul Powell today. So we'll see what he has to say here. Let me get through this quick. What's up, DJ? Good to see you, buddy.
So that's basically the macro setup for me. I'm very bullish risk, bullish crypto, bullish technology, bullish carbon credits, bullish bonds, bullish gold. Don't really have any of it. Starting to wait for things like copper because we've got some secular backdrops. I like secular trends. Tend to trade the cyclical stuff anymore. I find it a bit boring, and I don't think it's very easy to make money consistently over time. I like a secular trend, and when, for example, when you look at the technology stock, take the Nasdaq. If we take the Nasdaq on a log chart, we've come back to the bottom of the log trend channel, and we've had all of the bottom indicators and signals. And usually, if you can buy the cyclical sell-off when it hits the secular trend, that is the sweet spot. We're in that sweet spot now. We're in the sweet spot in crypto, technology. We will get there probably in copper as well, and a few other markets where it starts to get very, very interesting for very high future expected returns. We saw something not dissimilar in carbon as well. So that's where we are. Cyclical pressures down to the secular trend. I love my secular trends. My big secular trends are India, technology, exponential age technology. That's a whole host of things, from robotics to AI to EV to distributed data to metaverse. All sorts of things come in that bucket, and I've been writing quite a lot about that over the last few years. Exponential age is the other big theme. Stuff like, I like the Middle East, and maybe Saudi Arabia is the one harder to trade, but I think it's really interesting. I'm bullish on copper, as I said, carbon for those reasons as well. And then crypto is the bigger bet for me because I think it has a higher expected return. Comes with more volatility, but I'm happy to stomach the volatility because I've got an income, thank God. And so that means I can allow the volatility of my portfolio moving around because I've got money coming in. But if you're trying to live off crypto, it's bloody difficult because it goes up and down a lot. So anyway, so that's where we are in my macro thing.
Macroeconomic investor Raoul Paul believes that we have hit the perfect sweet spot in many exponential growth assets where their prices have dropped down to the bottom of the channel of their secular trends, and now is the point that has the best risk to reward ratio you're going to see. In his latest live stream, Raoul breaks down exactly which assets he's bullish on and why he's most bullish on crypto and expects it to outperform and offer the best return over time, but especially in 2023. Make sure to stick around to the end of
It's pretty interesting. Again, shout out to this guy, Jamie Tree. I will put a link to this in the live chat. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description below as well. Yeah, obviously, you guys, when you're listening to these videos, take everything you hear with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean things are going to go the way that people think or say. It is just this person's perspective, and knowing as much or absorbing as much as you can, as much information as you can will help you long term, but don't go all in with one person's word of advice. Best thing I can leave you with. So let's continue.
the video where Raoul speaks on why not only is
Any metaverse projects?
subscribing, it's free and you can always change your mind.
You got your eyes on any metaverse projects? I'm not really investing in the metaverse yet. Really, I had a go at tokens, I had Decentraland and other stuff. I know they've done pretty decently. We, for Real Vision, have been exploring and used Vatom, which I really like, which most people aren't aware of. And we've also obviously used On Cyber and 6529's OM. So those are the ones I'm I'm really looking at right now. And that's really from a real vision perspective, as opposed to the broader perspective. I'm not really in that kind of gaming world, so I won't see this coming up. Obviously, Other Side by Yuga Labs is interesting as well. Let's see what they do. I'm sure they'll do something pretty good because they're pretty good at that. What do you think about ETFs in crypto? I think we've all learned the lesson that they're terrible in terms of anything that exists is based on a futures contract. The SEC is just a mess. So I doubt it. I think they just want to have that battle, and that battle is, we don't want you to have that. Meanwhile, someone like George Noble's ETF, who was attacking me on Twitter all the time, George Noble's ETF, he's like, oh, Cathie Wood, these people are terrible, they're shocking, crypto's terrible. I think his fund's down to 70% in a month, which is pretty shocking. That stuff shouldn't be allowed to be an ETF. Raoul, is this the start of a new bull run in tech? Will crypto follow through? Crypto led it, and I think that tech is following through. So yes and yes, and I've been saying that for some time. So it's not like, oh, the price action. I was saying that as the prices were collapsing in October, and when the price was collapsing in June in crypto, that I've been positive. No, I hope I'm right. I'm not always right, as we all know. Do you believe there's a chance that the debt bubble would eventually burst? Obviously, we've all thought a lot about this topic, and I've been writing a lot in Global Macro Investor about this, and I think the answer is it cannot burst. A, they can't allow it to.
Yeah, they won't
it's too
allow
catastrophic.
it to.
But B, quantitative easing means that they'll never burst. So the government can just endlessly finance itself, print more money, and they can endlessly print more money to make sure that the value of assets, the collateral of the system, goes up, and therefore nobody's insolvent. We saw that in 2020. And I think that was the big signal for me, is they can't allow the insolvency. Remember, I had that insolvency phase idea? Well, that never happened. And what stopped it is the Fed came in and said, no, sorry, your collateral's not going to go to zero. And so don't forget, we've got this massive pension system, and the liabilities there are a huge problem as well. So they just can't allow it to happen. So I do not think the debt system bursts. I think it dies in different ways. I actually think it dies from, over time, I think they have to get GDP growth above debt growth. And that's going to take time. I think it's going to take a change in the demographic, i.e. the dying off of the baby boomer population, and then GDP growth driven by technology, and productivity growth has to go up. So it's actually a long-term game, and I think they'll hang it out for as long as possible, much like Japan has been doing and Europe's been doing. I think it's a long-term game, and what we get is the debasement of assets to counteract it, debasement of currency, which leads to higher asset prices and everything.
Boo. I guess I am going to have to do the premium stuff.
Everybody getting more and more angry because the markets never go down. So I actually think that is how the world works now. And I know people don't want to believe it. I think you're going to blow up yourself if you try and fight that game. I think we just proved it again. Yeah, nice shirt, by the way. It's the Irresponsibly Wrong shirt. Dusted out the wardrobe just for you guys. I thought, you know what, I want to make a statement. And I am all in still in crypto. So about that. What about the dollar? Good question. Seen a few of those wing by. Just Ray. Short and long term. Short term, I think the dollar falls a bit further. Might even get down to 95 in the DXY. So that's the unwind, the A. It's where it goes back again. But structurally, the dollar's in an uptrend, and it's driven in an uptrend because 85% of world trade is in dollars. 400% of GDP in debt is dollar-denominated debt. So we've got a structural shortage of dollars, and that shortage of dollars, either in times of crisis or times of boom, tends to drive the dollar higher. So still remain a dollar bull. And here's a good story for you, actually. I was living in Spain in 2012, and we just had the massive financial crisis in Europe. We almost lost our banking system, had to buy a generator and tin food, crazy shit. Terrifying when you lose your banking system. And Cyprus lost its, obviously completely, enabled savings were wiped out. So it was a mess. You had to take cash, put it out at home, try and find gold, all of this shit. Luckily, the money printer stopped the collapse. Right, big lesson to be learned there. I didn't really still believe that to be the case, which I now do. But at that period of time, the euro was trading about 148.5, 148 against the dollar. And I was living in Spain, and I had euro savings, and my business, Global Macro Investor, was billing in euros. And I took the ridiculously brave bet, kind of like this crypto bet. I went, yeah, it's actually just like this crypto bet. I just went, fuck it, I'm all in on the dollar, because this is the wrong price. And Europe's got a structural problem here. And so I switched all of my life savings into, it's exactly the same as the crypto, just has less bang for your buck than the crypto does. So I switched 100% of my life savings into dollars, then changed the billing for Global Macro Investor into dollars. And then I went and bought 2 properties, one in Cayman Islands and one in Miami, because that would stop me trading out of my position, which is what I've done with crypto. Like I started this exponential age fund of hedge funds. So you get locked up for 3 years and stuff like that. Ways that you don't outguess yourself, because you'll get these 2-3 year rallies and then it falls away. And we saw huge moves.
So he kind of locked it up so he couldn't make stupid moves
up and down, but that bet's been the gift that keeps on giving. And it also reminded me, another nice story about that trade is I was thinking through this mechanism of asset allocation in that kind of very big global macro terms, right? I want dollars. How do I hold dollars? Well, I can buy bonds, I can buy equities, I could buy assets, real estate, art, stuff like that, stuff priced in dollars. So what you're doing is you put it in dollars, you're now in that currency, and your base currency is that. So then if you buy real estate on top, and real estate goes up 50%, so you get the dollar appreciation plus the 50% or multiplied by the 50%.
Look how perfect that neighborhood is. Does anybody live in a neighborhood like that? It's like, that's too perfect. I feel like that's like the beginning to every like zombie movie ever.
50%. So it gives you super leverage on your dollar position, but you're still in your dollar trade. And I hadn't really figured this out properly, what it actually means. Now, I could have chosen stocks, but I didn't want to take that risk. And I did have some bonds at various points. And so I would take the interest on that. Bonds went up and the dollar went up. So I made a really decent return from doing all of this trade. And recently I realized that this is the same trade I'm doing in crypto. So if you look over there, you see my NFT, there's my Bored Ape and Punk and all that stuff. They sit on ETH. So you make an allocation to ETH. That's the economy I want to allocate to. And in that economy, I try and buy a fixed asset, because fixed assets are scarce and they tend to do well when things are booming. So you buy a fixed asset, which is a rare NFT, or a community asset, which is something different, but an asset, or maybe like an equity, whatever. If that does well as well, it gives you the return over ETH. So if ETH goes up 10x and they go up 3x, you make 30x returns. Yeah, you don't think about this, do you? It's a free call option. Real estate is essentially a free call option on a foreign bet. So NFTs are a free call option. Free meaning, now, if you buy a shitty NFT and you lose money, that is your fault. If I buy a shitty NFT and lose money, that's probably your fault as well. Let's just get that straight. No, but generally speaking, you buy good assets, their volatility is less. So that Bored Ape has been stuck at well, not this particular one, but the floor price has been stuck at 65 ETH for a year and a half. So it's pretty stable. So what's the downside?
65 ETH it costs for one of those stupid monkey fucking photos. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I'm sorry if anybody's into NFTs, but that is stupid.
Well, in the panic in June, they went down maybe to 55 or something.
That's
so
ridiculous.
The downside's about 55. What's the upside? Well, it's been as high as 3x this. These are great call options to own, and I still have my ETH bet. So even if my NFT goes to zero, I've lost a bit of that, the call premium, but the ETH is still there. It's really interesting. They obviously compound on the downside too. So when you've got a down market, your NFT falls in price and the bloody ETH goes down. Anyway, so that's the story of the dollar, and I'm still bullish to dollars for the same reason, and I won't change that view for a bit.
Pretty cool. All right, let's check out this next one. Again, this guy, Jamie Tree, he more or less just steals podcasts and makes nice videos about them, and it's a good idea. It's a very good idea. I want to see what is said here in this one. Let's see, and then we'll probably take off.
This is sadly for the Zoomers, the Gen Zs out there. I feel kind of bad for them because they're walking into the buzzsaw of probably the worst financial social disaster in 1,000 years. For us boomers, we're like, oh well, we had a great 40 years. But for the Zoomers and the millennials now, it's a dire situation. So I would encourage the younger generations load up on Bitcoin, because that is definitely a way to create a bulwark against what I perceive to be a growing cascade of interlocking and reinforcing problems.
Max Kaiser is a prominent Bitcoin advocate and entrepreneur known for his strong views on the digital currency and for being an OG of the Bitcoin space. In this video, we will delve into Kaiser's latest interview where he speaks on his thoughts and views on Bitcoin, including its potential as the future of money and his advice for individuals interested in investing in it. Kaiser's
interesting. Real quick, this Pocket Change just said another object shot down over Canada. That's insane. And RC, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. YouTube Premium Fund. Oh god, this is gonna be like DJ's chair. I'm gonna continue to say I'm gonna get premium and just never get it. Actually, I think he got a new chair finally. It only took him like a year and a half, but he got one, I think, right? I wrong? Let me know. But that's crazy. Thank you for the donation. You don't have to do
Sees
that.
Bitcoin as having aesthetic qualities that resonate with people and believes that not only is Bitcoin perfect money, but it has the power to bring peace and healing. He also views Bitcoin as a tool for self-authorship, freeing individuals from the actions of others and oppression from the state and government. In his opinion, Bitcoin has the potential to be a
Exactly like my router, Dupran.
humanity as it
Goddamn
solves
troll.
many problems and has an inflation-proof wealth story. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Kaiser compares Bitcoin to gold in its scarcity, divisibility, transportability, and durability, but points
100,000 years or more, specifically over the past 5 to 10,000 years, over the past few hundred years, obviously the gold has become the number one money because it has great attributes. If you're somebody traveling around and you need a medium of exchange in a way that it gives you the ability to travel through time, because gold's purchasing power due to its scarcity remains constant, and it allows you to travel through space because it's somewhat portable, it's divisible, it's fungible. So with gold, you have the ability to be free to walk.
Yes and no. I mean, yeah, gold's worth a lot now, and you can carry, you know, a pretty decent amount in your body. But let's be real, like a couple $1 million in gold. Good luck putting that in a backpack and carrying it around. It's not going to be easy. For one, you're probably going to get mugged, and two, you're probably going to just, like, you know, your knees are just going to give out at some point.
Anywhere. I think you can go anywhere in the world. If I have gold, they'll take it. That's the great thing about gold. Flash forward to Bitcoin. Bitcoin does everything that gold and money we expect it to do, except it does it better. It does it in the digital age. It's more secure. It's more portable. Everything that we talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin represents the long search for perfect money in that sense. And as a result, it has caused massive nervous neurological problems in people who are incapable of handling this idea of perfect money. Again, so you have someone like a Sam Bankman-Fried who looks at the quote unquote crypto market and becomes the biggest crook in history. And then you have somebody like a Michael Saylor or a President Bukele who looks at it and says, this is actually a way to help or engineer our lives and our economy in ways that going to benefit everybody. So it has this is where we're at now with Bitcoin. It's cleaving the society. I don't like to throw in biblical references really, because it's contentious and everybody throws a fit. But nevertheless, the literature in various religions is outstanding at times. And you learn a lot from reading books like the Bible. And so
Sloth Squash, have a good day, buddy. He said, see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. unless you go live after changing the caliper. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to go live later today, but he said on the greatest truck ever manufactured. I appreciate that. The Raptor is amazing.
with Bitcoin, similarly, once you get the Bitcoin meme and once it's in your mind and it's kicking around and rearranging your brain, it doesn't stop. You don't wake up tomorrow and like, well, that Bitcoin thing was interesting, but I'm...
And that's super true, actually, what he just said. Like, you don't learn about Bitcoin and then just completely forget about it. Like, you literally just get stuck on it forever. Yeah, have a good day, buddy. We'll see you soon.
I'm going to start crocheting now and making puppets for dog. Now, it's still working in your brain, whether you want it or not. Right. So I think we're at a point where there's no turning back, you know, for humanity. Not to be overly dramatic, but I think that given the current state of affairs around the world, and with the fiat money machine now going into hyperbolic overdrive, and all of the excesses that were brought on by fiat money, all of the, you know, the malinvestments that are made possible through the money printers has created a dystopian nitmare. You know, Stacy and I were traveling in Mexico City a few years ago, and we stumbled into this art exhibit really spontaneously. It was actually held at their bank. It might have been one of their central banks. They had an art exhibit in the actual building. And I saw something there that I think about almost every other day. I think about this. And this is a moment of aesthetic transformation where I saw a work of art. The artist was in my brain and rearranging furniture involuntarily. I had no choice in the matter. I simply saw the world differently. It was a piece where you have a set of stairs that are going down facing a mirror, and on the top of the staircase you had people, and then subsequent steps down the stairs, presumably the afterlife, these people would become who they truly are. So one person's became a tomato, one person became a monster, one person became an angel.
Recordings just got.
So this is what I'm using, by the way. StreamYard is actually amazing.
And they see themselves in the mirror. So it's very clear that they're the self-reflection in the mirror of their, let's say, the moment of death, which brought about the ultimate confrontation with oneself, revealed in the mirror who they really are. And I think Bitcoin does that because it has aesthetic qualities that resonate deeply in our souls and in our imagination and in our consciousness and our collective unconscious, that are involuntary, spontaneous, overwhelming, and transformative. And it happens all day long. I've played with it my whole life. I've avoided it, played with it, danced around it. And it's been a struggle, actually, because Bitcoin is a way to stay focused, because it's the engineering is so beautiful. The incentive model is so perfectly balanced, and it'll bring you peace. Bitcoin is peace. Bitcoin is peace. Bitcoin is love. And if you open yourself to the protocol, it can heal you. If you are unsettled, if you're imbalanced, if you're in pain, if you open yourself to the aesthetic beauty of Bitcoin, it will heal you. It will heal you. You'll be healed. You'll be healed. It's all in this book right here on Amazon for $9.99. You too can be healed, brother. The Bitcoin is a great unifying thing for all people and humanity, because it solves a lot of things. You can travel with it. I can go anywhere in the world now with Bitcoin, and I can use it. I can get to point A to point B. I have a store of wealth that's inflation proof, so it gives me some sense of property and self-sovereignty. It's obviously growing quite rapidly. The adoption is growing. Level 2 is growing. Countries like El Salvador making it legal tender. So I think this is what the great story in the 2023, 2024 is going to be. A lot of people just moving to El Salvador. They want to live in a country that respects happiness, pursuit of happiness, property, individual sovereignty, with a president who is absolutely perfectly happy just doing stuff that you'd want your president to do: build infrastructure, reform pensions so that they make sense. Like, he just does common sense stuff. But we live in a world where common sense is seen as an unbelievable act of revolution. I hearken back to John F. Kennedy, who famously asked people to think about what they could do for their country. And it gave rise to the Peace Corps, and it gave rise to a whole youth, as they used to call it, movement, which was unique, really, for I think the past 50 or 60 or 70 years. I don't think we've seen really anything like that. There's certainly that element to it. So, but people are going to be moving here. I think there's just going to be a huge wave of people. If 80 or 90,000 people are going to go to a festival in the desert in the middle of nowhere, like, think about 80,000 people go to Burning Man to get 3 or 4 days worth of consciousness raising human experience. Well, why not just move to El Salvador and have that every day of your life for the rest of your life? You don't need to go to Burning Man. Just move here. This is the perpetual Burning Man.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, Dave Jack, I would 100% rather not rebuild a caliper. I mean, it's easy for somebody that's a mechanic, but when you're not a mechanic, trust me, that shit's not easy. And there's always something bound to go wrong. You rip that fucking boot, you're screwed. So yeah, I'm not rebuilding any calipers. I'd rather just buy one and replace it. Takes 2 seconds. All right, let's see. So I'll show you guys the picture of the Raptor. Give me 1 second. I have to open it up, and I gotta block. Oh, hold on. Gotta block out the license plate. Actually, how? I have to screenshot it. This was a couple of years back, actually. All right, give me a second. Gotta color over this shit. So that stuff was kind of interesting this morning, though. I mean, that guy's the podcasts that he finds are actually quite interesting. So Shout out to that guy, Jamie Tree. Again, I'll leave a link to his stuff in the description. Sorry, I'm just painting over my truck. All right, there we go. Let's see. There she is. That's her. She's a beaut. Love it. I worked out of that thing for like a solid year. I beat the shit out of that truck. It's insane. I mean, it's like, what sucks though about the Raptor, like, I mean, nothing sucks about it. The truck's awesome. It's amazing. But these fender flares up here, like where we live in Mass, they always, like right along the edge, you'll get rust. These under rails, I actually ripped these off, these side steps, because they, again, underneath the door here, salt and shit, if you don't wash it every day, it gets rusty. So I have like fucking rust there I had to fix. And then this, same thing. All the fender flares, basically. But my old truck was amazing. I loved my other truck as well. I had a 6.0 diesel. This is gonna go up there too. Yep, knew it. All right, let's see. This one right here is amazing. This was my 6.0 2006 F350. This thing was a 13.5-second truck on the quarter mile. So fast. It was like 80 grand under the hood. Fucking stupid. So stupid, but it was sick. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, there it is. All right. Well, anyways, guys. Anyways, what do you guys want to talk about before we get out of here? We got like, I don't know, 10 minutes left or so. And then I'm gonna jet. Let's see what do we got. Let me X this out. Get out of here and get up the chat. Put a smaller pulley on the supercharger. So unfortunately, the Raptor is not supercharged. It's not. I thought about buying a turbo for it at one point, or a supercharger, but it's just a fucking pain in the ass, man. Yeah, the diesel kept breaking. The 6.0, like, I mean, yeah, it was a 6.0, but it was an 06 350. There was always something wrong with it every other day. Like, I let it sit for 2 weeks and fucking you're changing something. Like, it was such a pain in the ass, man. It was a pain in the ass. So, whatever. The truck was amazing though. It was absolutely amazing. All right, let's see. Let's see. Supercharger. Wait, please supercharge my KD boxes. I wish, right? Ice fishing. Ice finally looks ready. Nice. Good job. Good luck, actually. Ice fishing's all right. The only time I went ice fishing, actually, I didn't really fish, but we went on the lake, man. And I don't think I'll ever forget that noise of the ice breaking. No joke. Dave Jack, I sorry, but I'm done going over stuff. I appreciate it. I don't even know what you're sending me. But oh shit. I knew it was gonna happen too. God damn it. Let me see. Anytime I click on any link that's in a live chat, it never works. Never works on the computer. For whatever reason, it just doesn't work. I don't know, but yeah, that ice noise, man. When it's cracking, when people are ice fishing, like you hear it like warming up, and it makes this deep, like baritone-ish just crunch. And you're like in the middle of the lake. I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm out. See ya. Can't stand that stuff. No thanks. Because you fall down in there, you're just effed. You know what I mean? You're just effed. Yeah, but those links don't work. Are you mining Flux? Said somebody who asked. Let me find it. Yes, my truck was bulletproofed. It was bulletproofed. Let's see. I don't know where that is, but somebody asked if I was mining Flux. The wife said, I am not mining Flux. She keeps putting arrows. Oh, Dakota Miner. There we go. All right, found it. There, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm not mining Flux. To be honest, I never mined Flux. Maybe for like a couple days. That was it. But what I do is I'll mine like, well, before Ethereum went away, like I mined Ethereum and I swapped it into Flux to get enough for my nodes. Does that make sense? It made more sense because my electric rate is so high. Flux is core and memory intensive, so it's kind of like it would have cost me more to run it, and it didn't make much sense. It was way more profitable to just mine Ethereum and swap into Flux. And that's kind of like what, I mean, that's what max voltage preaches, right? Like mine what's most profitable, swap into what you want. As of right now, mining Flux for me is, there's no profits. There's not going to be any profit there for me. And I fully understand that, but that doesn't mean I don't like Flux. That doesn't mean I don't support Flux, 'cause I do. I think they're doing great things. I think they still need a lot more, innovation in the space. I mean, I know they're doing a lot, but you know what I'm saying. They need more outreach, I guess, to the average investor. And after last night, if you guys didn't hear last night's conversation with Jeff Key and that he's one of the devs from Flux, and Mining King, myself, and Hot Crypto and Max Voltage. If you guys didn't hear that, go watch it. I'm gonna repost it on Misfit Mining channel at some point, probably either tomorrow or Tuesday. And I think I'm gonna start taking some of those podcast things like that Jamie Tree guy does and throw it on that channel as well, just so you guys have some like information all in one area. So if you guys aren't subbed to the Misfit Mining channel, please go over there and sub. I need to get to 1,000 subs on that channel. It'd be great. But it's obviously not necessary. Let me throw that in the chat. But I just basically recap the live stream. If anybody just wants to listen to it on the way to work, it's easier to just see it over there. Let me pull up the live chat so I could drop the Misfit Mining channel in there. Here it is. If you're interested in subbing to that, I appreciate it. But yeah, I just live stream like 3D printing and all that shit on there, and I'll put some information on there eventually. I just haven't had time. Flux difficulty and hash rate is on the way down. Let's check that, man. We'll do that quick. There we go. I don't like that. We'll do that. Flux difficulty or network hash rate. We'll do this. Open a new tab. How's that? All right. Oh wow. It's at 5 mega souls today. Wow, it is going down still. We saw 4.5, so that's a week though. Let's see. Again, its peak was about 8.5 or so, or 9. No, its peak was 9 right there, 909 or so. Interesting. What is this? Flux network hash rate. Oh, this is miner stat. Nice. Let's see. Same thing there. All right, let's see the difficulty. What is the Flux difficulty chart? 80k, and before the halving it was a 134. Jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, it is on the way down. I mean, the more it goes down, obviously that means the less people are mining it, which means it's more profitable for those who are mining it, because you're getting, a bigger piece of the pie that's coming out of it. But still, going from the, what was it, 70 to 30, was it 75? I think it was 75, 37.5 or something. Doing that whole thing, like, that sucks. That's just tough. You know what I mean? Like, any halving's tough, right? Because the profitability literally gets cut in half. On top of everybody's raising electric rates and the market. There's so much shit involved with mining Flux. I honestly think, for me, it would be a while before I'd be able to mine it, to be honest. But again, I'm not interested in mining it. I'd rather just swap into it. It's easier for me. Flux and their WordPress products looks promising again. Yeah, Crypto Perks, I agree. I do agree. Their whole WordPress thing and everything they're doing, to be honest, the Lumen stuff, like that's a big deal. The Lumen stuff's a big deal. It really is. It doesn't mean that, I don't know. It doesn't mean it's going to take off. But I think it has high hopes to take off. So you still have to be cautious when it comes to everything you guys are, doing. Don't just like put all your eggs in one basket. I think that's foolish. But again, you do have a better chance of getting like 10x on Flux versus 10x on Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my opinion. Could be wrong. You never know. Like, it's a guess for everybody. Don't let King hear the word profitable. Oh god. Yeah, but listen, I love the Mining King. I love him. Good guy. Great guy. Love his beard. Fantastic. Oils it daily. But his argument for profitability is foolish. It makes no fucking sense. Hear me now. Flux streaming. So, all right. That's one thing I don't understand. I don't understand Flux streaming at all. It's free to stream on YouTube. Doesn't cost me a dime. I don't get it. Why would you pay Flux to stream? I don't get it. Could somebody explain this to me, please? Please explain it. Dakota Miner said, I watched last night. I don't understand, but I might do the same, put a couple cards on Flux. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. If you're profitable, then do it. You know what I mean? I just don't want to see you guys get in a hole over like switching your whole farm to Flux and then trying to hold it. Now you got to front this electric bill. That's where the, you know, it turns into a fine line of a good investment or a really risky investment. You know what I mean? If he had 30-cent electric rate, he would change his mind very quick. Yeah, well, that and his financial situation is way different than everybody's. That's the truth. That's the truth behind it. Like he can financially afford his electric bill out of pocket. So that's obviously a another thing, right? And he has solar. So like it is he has a lot of things going for him on the mining end. But when it comes to overall, you know, his outlook on if you're mining at a loss today and it goes up tomorrow, is it still a loss? The answer is yes. Point blank, end of story. Answer is yes, it is. I strictly mine at a loss. Dan Ruggs. So how come? How come? Is it just because I don't know? Thomas Black, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. Crypto Perks, LOL. Prevent censorship, he says. Let's see. What did Retro Mike say, actually? There's something up here. Don't let King... Oh, you just said that. That was it. Never mind. I read it. What happens when you buy a stock and the price goes down? It was a shitty investment, wasn't it? I mean, you're going to lose money, right? But that's why I'm not in stocks, because it's you're leaving. You're... Like... It's not that I don't agree with stocks. Like stocks, they're great. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but like you need to do research on certain companies and then you need to trust those companies to do well. It's the same thing with crypto, right? So diversity is key in my opinion anyways. Again, not financial advice, but that's just whatever. But then you hold it and it goes back up. But there's no guarantee to anything. That's the only thing I'm saying. You know what I mean? There's no guarantee that anything will go back up because you buy a stock, it could go down a little bit tomorrow and then it could just never go back up. Like my wife's she was with one stock. It went down and she's been floating in it for over a year because it's been down forever. But what if that company ever went out of business and it never came back? Now you're effed. You know what I mean? Like it's just whatever. Bacon, eggs, and hash, dude. I'm right with you. LOL, hilarious. Mine at a loss or mine more of a loss. It's so stupid. Like it's a foolish argument because if you're mining at a loss and even if you're getting, you're getting 10 here and you're paying 15 out for the electricity when you could just, take it and buy that 15 for less. Like it makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? I'm making a whole video about it this week. I wrote it up today. I actually have to record it later tonight or tomorrow, probably later tonight, but I have so much shit to do, man. I have so much shit to do. Today's the wife's sister's birthday. So I know she's not listening, but happy birthday if she is. And yeah, so we got to go do some family stuff and I got to fix the truck. I'm not looking forward to the truck. I really want to put the back rack on though. I actually just got a back rack. It's like so when I bought my Raptor tires, they're 35-inch Trail Nittos with those Rockstar rims. I bought 5 of them and I've had one just like chilling in the garage forever. So I need to put the back rack on this truck that I just got and yeah, get that thing mounted on the back and then I'll take some pictures for you guys after I clean it up. It'll look sick. It's just gonna take a bit, man. I don't want to drill into the side rails. That's what really bothers me. You know what? I'll drill a light bar onto the fucking roof of the truck, but I won't drill the sidebars onto my fucking bed. Makes no sense. I guess it's just cold out too because I don't want to do it. I was thinking about doing that shit live sometimes with you guys, but like I don't know if you guys want to see that shit. It'll look amazing, to be honest. Let me see. I don't even know. Let me see if I could find it. I don't even know what brand it was. I forget. It was like a decent it was a decent price though. 1 second. Let me see if I can. Oh, there it is. Is that it? I think this is it. I'm just trying to make sure there's no yeah, all right, I can show this, I think. Yeah, I think we're good. Fuck it. This guy right here. So it'd be this back rack. It was just about $1,000. If it's not exactly this one, it's similar. But yeah, it looks just like this, pretty much. So I gotta drill like these guys. Fucking A. Hold on, let me click on something. I think this was the one. I think this was it. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, so I got to drill here, like the sides of the bed. And I'm like, hey, it's not even a big deal. It's really freaking easy. It's just being a pussy about it. But it's going to look sick. I can't wait to get the friggin' bed here. So like the biggest thing for it was when I got rid of my truck, when I sold it, it turned into oh shit, this sucks, because now I can't freaking go to the store and get shit because the Raptor only has a 5.5 foot bed. So you try putting a 10-foot 2x4 or a 10-foot like 6x12 in there, like it's a fucking nightmare. It sucks, bro. So like you can't, like it's like sticking out like 10 feet, you know what I mean? It's a nightmare. So it's just easier to get a back rack. So I had to invest in something before the end of the year anyways, because I beat the shit out of my old one. And yeah, so this is going on the Raptor, so I gotta do that. I don't know, I might do it today, I might not. We'll see. We will see. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. I'm tired and I have work to do. God damn it. All right, what's the last go? You gotta tell me who the hell's asking the question. You just keep posting question. Let me see. Trying to find it. I buy much more than I mine, to be honest. I have to capitalize on these fire sale prices. Yeah, Dan Ruggs, I agree. I would 100% just buy. Just remember, everyone's PAs make the cost quite a bit better. Yeah, RC. So parallel assets, again, are a huge, they're a factor, right? Everybody has a reason to mine. But the parallel assets, at the same time, you need to calculate like how much they're worth, right? See, I wish I was like, sometimes I wish I was mining Flux. Maybe I'll talk to somebody about like what their rewards are. If there's anybody here that has like a rig that is constantly on Flux, let me know if you can in Discord. Maybe you guys had, I don't know, like a 6-card rig, 12-card rig or whatever on Flux, and you guys know exactly what you get for that month with that rig and how much of a parallel asset for each you guys get. Let me know, because then I could do calculations and actually make a spreadsheet and kind of show you guys like, okay, this is worth it for the parallel assets if your electric rate is this, but if it's anything less than this, you're stupid. Is that the best way to put it? Run nodes. Yeah, Thomas Black, exactly. Yeah, nodes are awesome. I mean, I want to run nodes. I have enough for five cumulus nodes. We have 5,000 Flux. I need to get some more, but it's I don't know. I don't know how much more I want to invest in it, because I feel like 5,000 is a good number. I mean, hearing the hopium of $100 Flux, I don't think that's happening any goddamn time soon. If that happens, that'd be amazing. I would love for it to happen, but there's going to be a lot of dumps and pullbacks along the way. Let's put it that way. JP Riggs said, I have 29 GPUs on Flux. I'm stupid. No, you're not stupid, man. So like, again, everybody's reasoning's different. You know what I mean? You don't like anything anybody here on YouTube says. Don't like take it to heart, right? As long as you can afford it and you find it personally beneficial, like you're heating your house or you're getting the parallel assets or you like to support the network, like if you have reasons, that's fine. If you can justify it, no problem. But if you can't justify it, if it's costing you an arm and a leg and you could just shut your shit down and buy the Flux monthly and you have the discipline to do it, you're much smarter doing it that way. That's just my opinion. But Crypto Mikkel, actually, I wrote it down for what's going on, buddy. I wrote down your point that you said in your live stream on Saturday. If you guys don't know, Crypto Mikkel streams 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9 a.m. I think it's Central Time. Was that, I believe? Anyways, he made a good point about mining Flux. Okay, so if you want to have privacy, which was a point that I didn't even think about. If you like privacy and you're mining to a cold storage wallet, the only person that knows that address is you in the pool. That's it. if you're buying and, you know, transferring the flux between shit, everything is going to be traced, right? Like there's going to be a paper trail or a digital trail all the way back to where it came from, where it went, how it got there, yada yada. Unless you use like the tornado cash thing, which is another thing I need to look into because I've never ever touched it or messed with it. But I just thought it was interesting. So Crypto Mikkel did bring up a good point, and he is a very wise guy. Just for you guys information, if you're ever interested to watch him, he has some good stuff. You need to run nodes on your own stuff. Hosting a node will not pay you well at all. See, I don't know. D miners, I agree to a point. I don't know what the nodes even earn anymore, to be honest. I mean, with the halving, I think it's probably much worse, if I had to guess. I wasn't getting much flux though. I wasn't getting much flux with my node, but my node sucked. I only got like 3 payouts and then it fucking died. I don't know. It's my router. I know. Depran, I don't want to fucking hear it, all right? I know you're in the chat. I know you're laughing or you're yelling at the screen or you're in the middle of typing. Cut the shit out, all right? I don't want to hear it. I know. I need a new router. God damn it. All right. I love you guys. You're all awesome. You're amazing. Crypto Mikkel, thanks for being here. Patrick Murphy, you're awesome. Retro Mike, it's PJ Buy. Appreciate you, buddy. Using it for heat in my basement. I got an X4Q underneath my desk right now, warming my feet because it's cold down here. Who else? Yankee, appreciate you for being a member. Thanks for being here, buddy. Even though it's coming to an end. I know you already said that. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash, appreciate you, buddy. D-Miners, as always, we have Dave Jack. Kaiser, appreciate you, buddy. Thomas Black. UK Miners Club, Rid Puts, Network Bits, The Wife, Miss Pocket Change. Who else? Crypto Perks, you guys are awesome. All right, if I missed anybody, I apologize. Patrick Guyan, love you, buddy. All right, I'll catch you guys soon. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out. Happy Sunday. Smash that like on the way out.